So it looks like we are getting ready to get started here. All right, hello guys. Welcome to the Pokemon Rumble 80% No Passwords Tournament. I'm Rodeki Assassin. Let me just make sure everything's good in here. Okay. Good in here. Okay. So yeah, stream should be up on here. Okay, yeah, all right. So this is winners round 2. This is going to be seed 2 and 3. And doing the race. But I'm pretty excited for this race. The PBs between these two are only like minute and a half, 2 minutes, I think. And it's going to be pretty cool. I think we're just getting some audio stuff resolved. But we're going to be starting soon. But thank you guys for coming and watching. This is I'm pretty excited for this this match. It's going to be pretty equal, I'd say. In the PBs are pretty close to each other. We see some like one-sided matches, somewhat, not necessarily completely, but a little bit. So I think this is going to be a pretty cool match. Whoever wins this match goes on to winners finals. We playing me, Rubrik 7, in winners finals. That's pretty cool. Also, Diego has the world record for emulator version. Oh, we're starting. Okay, cool. Okay. So anyway, we're started. So this is Pokemon Rumble. If you haven't seen the run before, there's going to be a little cutscene that we have to watch at the beginning here. Kind of just telling you what's going on. This Rattata here, this little toy, you get to wind him up and play as a little Pokemon. The style of this game is kind of like a beat 'em up. Just kind of walk around a level, beat 'em up, go into the end of the level, and then move on. The main point of this category is to beat the normal mode, which is the first difficulty in the game, and spawns the first roll of credits. And it's doing it without passwords. Passwords are basically a 8-digit code that Nintendo gave a bunch of codes out with the game that has just different variations of Pokemon and movesets and whatnot. And this category bans those the use of those Pokemon. So we pretty much just have to work with whatever we're given here instead of being able to use some good Pokemon that are helpful. We're gonna have to just deal with what we got, or what we're given more so, right? So right here we have pretty much just a tutorial now after the like beginner opening cutscene. The Rattata is not supposed to be in this battle royale, so even if we were to have some kind of cheat code in the game where you could beat all the Pokemon in this battle royale here, you actually can't skip rank C even if you were to beat this. After not getting that quick kill there. But the game will not let you win this battle royale. You have to lose this battle royale. So you want to lose as fast as possible. Some Pokemon kill you a little faster than others, but yeah. Now we just got this little tutorial level. This does count towards the player's stage completion list, which is good. You have to complete about 3 stages, and then you'll be able to collect the power that we're going to need for the Battle Royale. The Battle Royale is what you have to complete in order to go on to the next one, and there's going to be 4 ranks total in the game. We got a 53 and a 49. Those are 2 of the... That's like the highest you can get at Pikachu and one of the lowest you can get. Technically, the power doesn't matter too much, but it does affect the range here on the boss Pokemon, because there are ranges here. And the question about Pokemon Rumble Blast, this game is really kind of unique to all the Pokemon Rumble games. Each Rumble game gets a little unique to itself, for sure. They kind of didn't have a full method other than just like running around as toy Pokemon. But there's like some similarities. Like there's these little levels you go into and you have 2 moves. But there's a lot of difference. Rumble Blast has like a more of a storyline and kind of a different vibe than this game for sure. Going into this tutorial, going into the not tutorial, sorry, the boss fight. You want to walk around with Rattata the whole way through because they have about the same block speed, and then you just get right to Pikachu at the end there. But after we finish the tutorial level, you can skip pretty much all these like cutscenes that we're seeing, all this like winding up Pokemon cutscene, the trampoline cutscenes you can skip. You can make things go a lot faster once the tutorial's over. Okay, so they both got the good range. So they both got the 6-7 range. You know it's bad if it's doing 5 or 6 damage instead of 6 or 7. That's the range difference for that fight. But it's pretty even. And I said it in the last race that I commentated, but pretty much every run, other than like going to like a similar route style, every run's going to look a little different from each other. Like the power of Pokemon you're going to be getting is going to be different. The moves are going to be different. Everything's just going to be different. The layouts change, and you're always having to think on your feet and route on the fly, even if it's little small changes here and there. I didn't see the power of Diego's Doduo, but halqery's is 60, I believe, or 67. Which isn't terrible. Not the best, but not terrible. It doesn't have quick attack though. So Diego's gonna get a little upper hand here with the quick attack. But I don't believe they got really anything too good of a power. I don't believe. But they're both doing some pretty good movement technique. It's not the best idea to completely just mash quick attack. This game has a lot of in-game lag, so like even if they're going to be playing on the like best version of the game, whatever the case, there's going to be lag. It's just kind of how the game works. But there are ways to reduce that lag, which is like using moves less, hurting less Pokemon will cause there to be less lag, and also doing these boss fights in certain ways too will make it less laggy as well. 65. Oh, that's not the right one. Okay. Well, it's not. They're both in the 60s, so they both got okay Doduos, which is honestly fine. I'd take a high 60, mid 60 Doduo than nothing. Don't know if halqery got anything else, but halqery can beat this with Pikachu. It's definitely doable, especially at this health. Kind of rough. I had a rough go here at this Persian fight. Albeit goes quick attacking along. But yeah, there's a lot of lag in this game, so being smart about when you're using quick attack and what you're like, how many Pokemon are on screen, or how you're gonna hit, or how much you're gonna hit is separates how much time you're gonna save from like saving those seconds in the levels. Like see, all those Pokemon that dropped is not bad if you want the Pokemon or need them, but it's causes a lot of lag. Yeah, I'd say this game is really easy to learn. There's a lot of guides, a lot of information on this game nowadays. There's a Discord for the Pokemon Rumble series. It has lots of resources as well. I would say that this category is easy to pick up, but hard to like master and get good at. Like really easy beginner categories or anything with the passwords, just because it gives you that little handicap of using those Pokemon that are really good. It's not completely busted. You still have to play the game, be decent at the game, like to finish the game. Well, not like be decent or whatever, but you know, don't mess up. We'll make giant errors. But Pokemon Rumble is a pretty simple game. It's a pretty easy game. halqery hasn't played the game really at all in like a decade, and they picked up the tournament because I asked them to. So, but Diego's having a pretty solid run. Has quick attack. Got 100 power in the first room. A very nice rank C indeed. You saw he got hit or didn't get hit by all those karate chops. You have some invincibility frames when you first come out, so I'll let those go away. But the reason Diego's dying instead of completing the levels, because in order to save the Pokemon that you collect, you either have to die completely in the stage, which you have 3 lives in whatever you enter, Battle Royale, stages, whatever, or you have to complete the level to save the Pokemon. So it's faster to just get the Pokemon and die. But there's also a lot of there's been a lot of really cool community work with this game throughout the years. Lots of different people have just done collect them all runs. There was a co-op collect them all run done, I believe, last month, or maybe it was this month. But really cool. Just people are really into this game. It's really has a devoted fan base. There's a lot of cool with the game as well. It's the only Rumble game with shiny Pokemon in it, so there's a lot of shiny hunting done in it. Pretty cool game. I recommend it. If you haven't played it or done speedruns of it, if you're looking for a new speedrun or whatever, it's very easy to pick up. Very easy to get good at as well, for sure. But Diego's having a pretty good Battle Royale. Double Slap Clefairy is like pretty much the next best thing you can get, other than the chop with Karate Chop. And it does look like halqery got his power as well, so Trailing not far behind. Honestly, just losing some time because of the unlucky Windy Prairie. And just having a little less good luck than Diego did with the power. Bite Ekans isn't the best, but I'm sure that they have some other stuff they can work with as well if that dies. Each Battle Royale have these like bosses that spawn at the end of it. The number at the bottom of the timer on that right kind of shows how many Pokemon are left, and it shows like it kind of gives you information on how many waves there are and how much you have to kill to get the next wave to show up and whatnot. But you can also just look at how many Pokemon are on the screen. So for this boss fight, for the bosses to show here, it's just you have to get to the last like 12, I think, something like that, to spawn the bosses. But in this next Battle Royale for rank B, it's a little different format. We'll get to it when we get there. But as Diego's entering rank B, we're going to start talking about how it's a very crazy rank. It's the most inconsistent one. It's in all these tournament matches, it seems to be quite the deciding factor on like some time saves between the runners. It gave halqery a difficult time last time. It gave both me and Diego Lazo a difficult time in our race. So I can imagine it might not be any different here. Getting a 93 power Pidgey is not good. Even though we are right after rank C, the power jump is pretty pretty big. It goes. We can get Pokemon in the 160s in this room pretty consistently, if not like 140s for sure. There's a 174 like right there. So you definitely want to try and get something that's a pretty decent power here, even though it's that first level. And if he doesn't, it's gonna definitely differentiate whether he goes to one stage or the other second, because then you have to kind of work around what Pokemon he actually has to work with. Right now, he's using a 93 power in a rank where the max power can be 200. So to get to the Battle Royale, he has to get 200 power. Valkyrie finishing up his Battle Royale and not taking a death, barely taking any hits. Good job, Valkyrie. That was pretty good. Bite is not a bad move at all. It just doesn't have stab when it's an Ekans, and Ekans doesn't have great attack stat, so it's just kind of not going to be that great, but not bad at all, not bad at all. Didn't see the power of this he's using, but it has to be a little stronger than the one that he got, the 93 that he got. So Diego's having to work with what he's got, doing the no passwords thing. It's going to be interesting. Might just take the death here and pick the next Pokemon. But another interesting thing about this rank is that it's the only rank in the run where you can get the power that you need in that third stage. It's obviously quite the time save, but it's very rarely been worth it in no passwords runs because you have to have Pokemon to beat the Battle Royale with and have it be fast enough. Like you can save a minute or however much time by getting that early power drop, but then you can just lose all that time in the Battle Royale because you have nothing to use. Or nothing good to use. So it's a pretty interesting dynamic we're going to see here. It's always interesting to see. Halqery got 93 as well. Having pretty similar RNG path, it seems. Other than Halqery hasn't gotten Quick Attack. Oh, there it is. It's also weak, just a little stronger. Getting that 100 power threshold is important, so at least it's over 100, but it's still a Pidgey as well, so that's not helpful. Maybe he'll get a Pidgeotto here. Right there was a Quick Attack has like a homing like method type thing. So sometimes it'll just like aim towards Pokemon or things, even though you're not holding that direction. But it's part of those attacks there for sure. But okay, looks like Diego went to Fiery Furnace second. Definitely a great option. The most consistent way to get to early 200 is to go to Eternal Power third and go to Fiery Furnace second. I like to go to Fiery Furnace third just because the Pokemon there are really good. So if I can just get something to work with for the first 2 levels, I can get something really strong in Fiery Furnace maybe. It's all luck, of course. After getting the Pidgeot drop, that's pretty hype. I can have some good moves. There's also a decent power once it's not bad at all. Doesn't have to protect, but it's something. It's definitely not a bad idea just to like stay in as the Quick Attack Pokemon and just let it die. Especially in these earlier ranks when you don't have anything much to work with either. Diego definitely losing a lot of time on this boss fight, similar to what happened with Halqery and Fairy. Not as bad, I don't think. I think Halqery had 2 deaths there. But yeah, he doesn't have really much anything to work with other than, I guess that Gust Pidgey and the Quick Attack Pidgey, which are not great. Not great options. Seems like this is the only other option. He has Tackle, which is only good in very... Oh my gosh, he got so unlucky there. Voltorb isn't even a bad option either. It might not look like it's that fast because it's not Quick Attack, but Voltorb has a very fast walking speed, and it's not a bad option just to use it for walking speed. But do its thing. But I was just really unlucky. Got very unlucky with the paralysis. Luck and unfortunate. We'll see how Halqery capitalizes on this full time save here. Definitely, they're both having an interesting rank B so far. It looks like Halqery just has a little bit better of a situation here. He has a Pidgeot and a Rapidash that are both high power, which right there is better than what Diego has. He has a high Kadabra. That's really important. 197 is really good. Confusion is one of the best moves in the game. Yeah, that's actually really important for sure. One shots a lot of things, especially when you're in these levels. halqery closing the gap. They're in the same stage now. We'll see if anyone gets early 200. See how they react to it. If I were to get early 200, if it didn't necessarily have anything that was great to work with, I would just still go and try to get something that was at least had like Ember or something, Spark, something that I could use to fight. Yeah, we got the early 200 on. Okay, that's the most likely thing to have happen is to get electrode or Electabuzz, sorry, to be the early 200. So now he has to go in here, and unless he decides to not go in here, because Electabuzz is really good, and he has this Kadabra as well. Oh my gosh, this is so lucky. He has a pretty good duo here. Kadabra is not the best. It's not best to use range attackers in battle royales, just because it's a little riskier to use their move, and if it doesn't one side, you have to play a little smarter, a little more agile. But Confusion's still really good. Kadabra's still really good, so it's definitely a good option. I would have probably started with Electabuzz because it has Thunderstock, I believe, and Thunderstock is just a little worse Spark. Ooh, that was close. And that's a fast, short range attack that can just unlock anything. So yeah, he has great options here. Looks like Diego's gonna probably be able to capitalize on this early 200 time frame for sure. halqery unfortunately did not get the early 200, but just because they got the early 200 does not mean like it's the end of the race or anything at all. It saves about a minute. It depends on how much time it you take to have to get the power. So obviously, like he's gonna save a certain amount of time over halqery because halqery has to spend it still trying to get that power. But halqery might have a little better battle royale, so we can save time on him there. We'll just have to see how he goes. In order to get the last boss to spawn here, because there's 4 of them, the champs is that 4th one, you have to kill at least one of those bosses, so it doesn't really matter which one at all, kill one of them. This was very, very good by Diego. Very good RNG and very good like capitalizing on it. Woo! The power of Machan, man. So scary. I'm crazy didn't attack him there, but that's really good. It's just random whether a Pokemon is recruitable. You just have to kill them and hope they drop. There are certain situations where you can tell. So if there's like a Pokemon that has like stars kind of surrounding it, I just call it like a sparkly Pokemon because it's not shiny, it's sparkly. But if it's sparkly, it'll always drop. So you can always kill those things. Those will always drop. Shiny Pokemon always drop. If you are hitting a Pokemon and it gets stunned, that will drop again. That will drop if you hit it again, and you don't like do any other kind of that element to it. Like if you stun a Pokemon and then paralyze it, you can't like pick it up after that unless you get lucky again. So right there, that Eradicate that he was hitting, if he hit it again, he would have dropped it. But he decided not to because it was far away. Kadabra is also very fast, so Diego has that to work with as well. halqery's not on a bad run. He got kind of bad luck in that rank B getting the power, but wasn't the worst at all. A little below average at that. But here we're gonna see it. We're gonna see the like after effects of getting early 202 is he only has these 2 Pokemon he can work with in this rank. If he dies again, he doesn't have anything that can kill these Pokemon really. So he really has to make sure he gets something, and if he doesn't, he has to survive this boss fight with Electabuzz somehow. Hopefully Diego can get something. A Persian ideally would be great. Persian's really busted, really good in this game. Normal types, fighting types, psychic types, fire types, and electric types are also pretty good. Ground types are also pretty decent as well. Those are the it's honestly less important of like types and honestly Pokemon. The stats are important, so the Pokemon are important, but it's really important what those moves they have are, because you can make a Rattata work if it has quick attack and like Fury Swipes. That's a really good move set. And it's important for the typing because you want stab, because there is a stab bonus. Okay, Fake Out and Bite, not the best moveset, but having Bite does make the Gengar fight, which is a boss later, a little easier, just a little bit. If you don't have anything left. Should be fine here. Was a little slow on this Windy Prairie, but this Windy Prairie is very scary. You can definitely just die here and lose a lot of time here, because you don't get anything. So get out of there. And halqery's honestly not even that far behind. He's nearing the end of this battle royale. Had a pretty strong Growlithe with Ember. It's a great move. So we'll just see how his rank A goes. He has to catch back up. Oh, let the Machamp hit him. Machamp is not something you want to play with. That's also not what I would have gone into. I guess Smog is okay. Or okay, all right, halqery. Okay, he has a ponytail with Ember. Okay, he should be fine. Just hit the Machamp. Just hit the Machamp. There you go. Okay. Diego is now in Fiery Furnace. Fiery Furnace is a really interesting stage in this rank. Actually, kind of leads to the conversation of rank A. So rank B is one of the least consistent, just because there's so much stuff that can happen. Rank A is one of the least, is also pretty inconsistent. It's one of my least favorite ranks, probably my least favorite overall, just because like the power creep is very weird. The Pokemon that you're using in rank B are pretty much useless once you get to rank A, because the max power in here is 400. So the Pokemon are just gonna be a lot stronger, and they didn't really know what Pokemon to use and put into like the different ranks. I don't think from rank B, A, and S. So just the Pokemon are always just like really kind of subpar here. Getting the power that you need is always really inconsistent and weird here as well. It's where I usually struggle the most trying to get the 400 power fast. So we'll see how that goes for them. They both seem to have some Pokemon. Probably not as much, but I guess this is his first one, so still has a lot of more room to get a Persian or something. If they get a stronger Kadabra. I always like getting Kadabra in here because it's one of the only good things. It's actually pretty much the only thing worth getting in this stage is Kadabra. You can get the Gengar to drop as the boss, but that's about it. Everything else is you just need something. Okay, you got a Persian. 3-5, not. It has Fury Swipes, a great move. It's one of the best moves it can have. And you got a Kadabra. Alright. Kadabra. halqery with the Persian. I said that. Oh, no. Yeah, we're good. There's just both using Persian right now. It does take about 2 to 3 seconds to swap out a Pokemon to like optimally. So it's kind of worth just to like go until you die, unless the Pokemon's just like really worth going into. It's really fast or something like that. The Persian and Kadabra have like about the same walk speed, so that's just like wait. Just so you can do that. A great strat to kill that Gengar. So Diego is about a little less than 2 stages ahead of halqery. We'll see what happens here. I've had multiple times in my career, many times really, where I've not gotten the power in like the first attempt at getting at the first attempt at this stage. So we'll see how it goes. It's unlikely for that to happen, but it's possible. While Diego's going to be trying. You can pretty much ignore the Slowpoke. Slowpoke will pretty much never be. There's that sparkly Slowpoke, so it'll always drop. But Slowpoke, unless it's shiny, it will never be the power that you need, so you can pretty much just ignore them. But everything else is worth killing. You want to get the fighting type. You want to get the Soak and Camp. Clefable is not bad either. These numbers are kind of low. It's kind of scary. But usually it's the slow. You usually will end up getting a Slowbro or something, which is the most consistent thing to get 400. Oof. After you almost finishing up Fiery Furnace. Ooh, oh my gosh, he has like 1 HP. Okay, he had a Primate. That's actually really good. 300 power Primate. 300 isn't the best power, but both of those moves are really helpful. He could probably even use that in the Battle Royale if he really needs to. Not bad at all. Fighting types again are really good. Diego's still not getting this 400 power, proving my point that A rank is bad. We've actually, throughout this tournament, we've had some pretty good luck for getting the power. We haven't seen anything crazy happen with like not getting the power or whatever. We've seen some like last room. Oh, there we go. We've seen pretty much RNG like this. Or it's like one of the last rooms. It takes a while, but we have not seen it have to restart the level yet. I don't think. Maybe once, but I don't think so. Okay, we got a Kadabra. So Diego definitely lost some time there getting that 400, but still a really solid run, solid pace for both of these runners. Halqery really just losing time because he didn't get early 200 at this point. Having to work around a little less good RNG in certain situations. But can really close the gap, especially if he gets an early 400. 400 a little earlier than Diego did, because he's almost done with this stage here, and he starts to grind. So we'll see how this goes. Slowbro is not the best. It's not bad. It doesn't have terrible stats. It's defensive, which is helpful. And it's, even though it says Slowbro, it's not actually the slowest for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. Actually, I can kind of tell you why, but it doesn't make too much sense. But it's Confusion again is good, and it has stab on Confusion, so that's helpful as well. It's just a little slow of a move to have to use, especially when you don't have fast walk speed. But this is definitely way easier to deal with than if you had like Tackle or like Water Gun or something, because those moves are literally next to impossible to make fast, if not impossible. No. And he's having good luck with the Pokemon that he's getting. All the Pokemon that show up in the Battle Royale, it's not random like what shows up. It shows for it's like random that like the pool of Pokemon that they use per stage is going to be a little random, but it's going to be the same pool of Pokemon that were in this ring. So it just takes Pokemon from each stage and puts a random pool of them in there. You fight them. So sometimes it can be like all these Staryus, which is pretty decent RNG. Sometimes there can be no Staryus, and a bunch of Dugongs or something. Really, whatever. But Diego cleaned that up really nicely. Only just having to have a little slow time with these bosses. There's only 3 of them, so nothing crazy here. He just kind of do these weird, awkward confusion maneuvers. So that's about it. If he could, the best like way to make this even a little faster, which is hard to do it because the AI can like PI and whatever. You can try and hit them towards the wall. That'll do a lot of damage to them, but it's harder to do it when you don't have a direct move like Karate Chop or something. Which Halqery has low kick, not the best move, but at this point everything's pretty heavy or big or whatever, so it'll be a good move for sure. So halqery's starting the Battle Royale around the time Diego's leaving rank A. Didn't have the best luck, had probably about the same luck as Diego did in getting 400 power. Probably a little, probably not as bad, just a little bit. We'll see how this last rank goes. The main goal for rank S is get a Pokemon as soon as possible. Everything that you have is absolutely pointless to use in this rank. The power creep is really crazy from rank A to rank S. You really can't use anything that was in rank A. You want something that's at least 500 power, ideally. If it's high 400, that's okay, but like ideally you want something in the 500s. And we also can get agility in here pretty consistently if you just, I mean, consistently, quote unquote. If you are killing the Dodrios and Fearos, they can have agility, so that's kind of what you're aiming for here. And then like Tech is a really good move in this game. And it doesn't look like he's getting anything. halqery taking a death. He'll be okay though. Yeah, he should be fine. He's gonna have a little slow of a boss kill similar to like the Diego. Oh my god. Those that watched the race between me and Diego Lazo, I had similar RNG in this, like throughout the run. Really, I just could not get anything to drop, and it's just something that happens sometimes. The game just doesn't want to give you stuff. There are ways to make things drop a little bit more likely as well. If you have any moves that have high crit chances, crits is like equivalent to more likely of the Pokemon dropping. So there's two different special traits in this game that are kind of like boosts that you can just randomly get on Pokemon. One's Gutsy and one is ooh, I can't remember the other one. Scrappy. And both of those raise your crit chance. So if you have those are good to use if you're trying to get Pokemon to drop. Or just like if you have Slash or Karate Chop or something like that. Diego, like that was nice tech by Diego. That you can tell he's leading up to do that like invincibility move, the animations. So he prolonged the hitbox by using Dust because it does a little stun animation. We get another attack one. That was nice. Speed tech by Diego. Okay. Go to Dodrio over here on halqery's side. Uproar and pressure. It's not the best. Yeah. Both these guys didn't really get the best Pokemon so far, at least. halqery's still working on it. Oh no. Okay. Go work them with one of the other Pokemon, which is fair. Uproar is not good. Ooh, doesn't want to get hit though. Okay. On Diego's side, Electrode's really fast. Definitely has one of the fastest block speeds in the game. The way that the speed works is that pretty much all the stats work by the base stat total of the Pokemon, and they do a dot system of up to 5. So each Pokemon has up to 5 dot systems for attack, defense, and speed, but speed is not shown. So even though it's not shown, it is there. So if the Pokemon has over 70 speed stat, it's gonna have like the highest. It's either 70 or 75, something like that. It's gonna have the highest block speed in the game they can have. Got 2 Charizards. That's really good work though. Maneuvering there to not die as well. And I'm not sure if halqery's really gotten anything. I don't think he has. Still playing too much choke. does not want to be killing these guys like this though. It doesn't. This is a solid race though. Like these guys have been neck and neck the entire time. Ooh, okay. Death. Unfortunate. That's Koros. We got a Koros out of all those things. Definitely doesn't want to be. He's getting like hooked up. He's getting hung up on the fact that doesn't have much and is just trying to kill everything. At this point, you really don't need Pidgeotos or Pidgeots. They're just not good at this point in the run. Slow and have the same moves as Firo and Dodrio. And the worst one. Oh, okay. He has an agility peck. That's perfect. Took him a really long time to get it. Diego has definitely saved some time on halqery here, but if he saves some time on these movement segments with agility and tech, and maybe gets like a Charizard or something in a Fiery Furnace, that could be helpful for sure. Oh yeah, that was really close. Diego has Alakazam, good. Pretty much just full stronger Kadabra, and same walk speed and everything. And the reason that they guys always go to these stages on the right is just kind of was like happened to be the fastest options like that. All the stages have like different length of rooms. We got a Zapdos drop. Okay. So they have different length of rooms. They also have like different bosses that they can be, or that will be at the end of the stages, depending on the rank. So Windy Prairie, Eternal Tower, and Fiery Furnace just happen to usually have like the weakest bosses in the rank, and or they have like the shortest rooms. So it's just something that even if the boss fight isn't as optimal or whatever, it's still faster. Okay, Diego getting that 600 pretty quick. Not letting halqery breathe. So all Diego has to do is I think that's an Iron Tail. Let's say Iron Tail as an attacking move. Fire Spin, Iron Tail. Fire Spin's not good. But it did say Iron Tail. Interesting. He's probably gonna buy. He can buy a move, okay? He has enough to buy a move. Oh wow. Wow. Yeah, he has enough to buy a move and a Pokemon exactly. That was crazy luck. And he bought a Zapdos, which is also good luck. Megahorn Iron Tail is not a bad moveset at all for Ponyta though. Yeah, I would probably also do that. Maybe save the Rapidash for late game. Just because it's a little better late game than at the beginning of this. But Zapdos is probably a helpful too. He's playing pretty risky here with Megahorn. With the first wave is always the hardest wave. The most Pokemon are going to be on the screen from the part. I'm going to talk about it. So you kind of want to be a little safer, or like know your game plan going into that first wave. And having to get up and close with a bunch of your Pokemon like that, and having all that downtime and all that, it's just not the best. And you have all those Pokemon trying to get you. Also, because he bought the Pokemon and it said 644, the Zapdos isn't actually 644 power right now. It's only good Micro Facing by Diego there. Micro Facing is huge in this game. They go on pace to get the best time like of the race so far. For sure. God, brutal. Okay. Interesting. I wasn't expecting him to just take that. Yeah, maybe thought he wasn't gonna get hit there. Moltres has a really large hitbox. Moltres and Articuno are both really annoying to deal with. That's why he's like ganging up on Articuno there. Yeah, okay. You have to kill one of the birds in order to spawn V2, so he was just hanging up on one of the birds. And Moltres bullied him. Oh. Marowak is trolling right now. Okay. Yeah, V2 does a lot of damage to the enemies, so it's kind of good to keep him alive. Not like keep him alive, but like let him use his attack like once or twice and let him hit some Pokemon. He has to be so careful. Oh my god. Dude. He's scaring me. This is why Confusion is like really scary to have in Battle Royales. They're getting up close and personal with you like that. Okay. Diego taking it. Really close though. That was so scary. There we go. Sub 44. GG's. But yeah, GG's to Diego. That's a really good time. That was actually, I believe this was like, this beats the Diego.
Hey, hi.
What's up? Congrats on the win.
Thank you. That rank was so bad. NG was like level 4000 never appeared.
Yeah, you guys had both were kind of getting rough RNG like in B and A, but your early 200 was crazy.
Yes, it's like a. I see the Cadabra 190. Okay, I say okay. I don't want the early 1000. It's like oh, Electabuzz give me the Pokemon. Oh, maybe.
Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe he'll get it. I don't know. And then I was like, oh, okay, he got it. I was talking about how risky it was too, and you did it really cleanly. That was a very nice time save. Was that like one of your fastest ranked Bs?
Is was on my fastest rank Bs. Yes.
It wasn't. It was okay.
There,
that was definitely.
there was,
I don't think I've had a faster one than that.
Yes, because I was having Electro 2000 is so good, and Alakazam it was so strong, so easy to do the battle royale.
Yeah, that was really good time save. That's pretty much like what kept you ahead of halqery this entire time. You guys were really neck and neck. Had like not like the same run, but had similar RNG. You guys kind of got this like same room power drop, other than rank B. So halqery's almost finishing up here. He has a pretty good Charizard with Dragon Claw. Really good move.
Yes, it's very good move.
But now, it's gonna be us two battling it off in winners finals. I'm pretty nervous.
Imagine I get again in the early.
Yeah, I guess get to early 200 again. I'm screwed, man.
Well, RNG is always same, you know. Something that always happen me is I have good face in the first two ranks, but in the end two ranks is so bad.
Yeah, it's really hard to like finish like a full run under 45 minutes. Honestly, like Like you have to have some pretty decent luck to get under 45 minutes, and you got that. You got that like pretty solid luck. It just you had some crazy bad luck at the end there, like not getting anything in rank S and stuff. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was so. And Ponyta Megahorn, I don't know to use it. Like
Me
I'm hitting, they hitting me. Like okay, this is bad.
yeah, Megahorn's interesting. It's better to use it like after the first wave, pretty much, just because like it's super effective on Mewtwo. It's really good for Mewtwo, so it's best to use it, Megahorn like at the end. Iron Tail wasn't a bad idea. It's like a little slower Aqua Tail, but it was risky. It was a risky shot going first with the Ponyta or with the Rapidash, but it was. I would have wanted to use it, so I might have done it first too. GG's
Yeah,
Halker getting a race PB also.
you used to Hulk.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to join, but actually let me look at the let me pull up this the tournament challenge so I can see where Halkery's gonna be going after this. So Halkery. Oh yeah, okay, Halkery goes to 8, I believe, right? Yeah. So Halkery's gonna be playing the winner of Diego Lazo and Rob the Gamer, which is pretty cool.
It will be that race after the Olazo are Rob will be so interesting.
Yeah, they had the exact so Rob and Diego had the exact same race time. They had a 1 hour 26-minute time between both their races. So I'm very interested to see who comes out on top from that, just because they've got the same exact time. I'm not. Did you have commentary to do on the restreams?
Look, there are the streams. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure if there was other restream, but that if you unless you have anything else to say or if Valkyrie says join, I'm not sure if Valkyrie is going to join, but unless you guys have anything else to say, we're pretty good to wrap up here.
It was a very interesting race. So good for me at the first, but and the end so bad because RNG in this game can be so hard.
Um, yeah, that was sick. Sorry, I got a DM from Valkyrie. But yeah, that was a really good. I was really anticipating that race. It was really close. Let me see.
It will
I see
have
Valkyrie here.
Hacker will enter to interview.
Oh yeah, let me get it. Think he's coming now.
Okay, he's coming.
Yeah, there he is. Hey,
Howdy, how's it going?
Hey,
going
Hulk.
good. GG's on the
GG's.
race.
That was better than the last tournament match, of course, but I don't know. It just felt like I couldn't really get anything.
Hey, yeah, you guys had some pretty.
Pressure and uproar or whatever it had.
Yeah.
It was like, what do I do with this thing? I don't even know what acupressure does. I tried using it on something and nothing happened.
Yeah, you guys have some pretty interesting luck. You guys had like actually really equal runs, like skill wise, and the like having to deal with the Pokemon in the stages. Diego
Yeah.
got early 200 and got like perfect early 200 luck and was able to capitalize on that.
Yeah. Dude, did you see that pay to win Charizard though?
Yeah, that was sick.
I'm gonna start buying that like pretty much every single time now. It's insane. It was like a 650 Dragon Claw Fire Fang Charizard, and I just swept S rank with it.
The buys don't like the power doesn't translate. The power caps at 555 or 599. Sorry.
Wait, what? So it's
yeah.
not even 600?
It's 650. It goes to the power that you bought it at once you beat the battle royale.
Oh, okay. So it was only like a 599 Charizard.
Yeah, it goes. It's
I
just
mean,
capped at
still,
5.99.
like,
it's
I
still
just-
really
I just-
good. Yeah,
I just hit Dragon Claw and never stopped.
yeah, it's a really good
Just worked
option if
out.
you have, especially if you don't like have anything good. It's good to just like buy a Pokemon. Diego had enough money to buy a move for his Pokemon and then buy a Pokemon, and that's what they used.
I think I had an Electrode, and that was pretty much it. Like, I wasn't gonna do very good without the Charizard.
Yeah. But that was a really close race. That was really fun to commentate. I believe you are just gonna be playing the winner of Diego, Lazo, and Rob the Gamer. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Do you have any like?
Is that match
thoughts
scheduled yet?
I don't know. They have until the 6th to schedule that match.
Okay. I mean, I knew that this was gonna be like one of the harder matches because I think at first I had the Diego's mixed up, and I'm like, oh, you know, I think Lazo's like the one with the better PB, right? And then I went and checked speedrun.com. I'm like, oh, never mind, I'm in trouble here. So, I mean, I meant to do a little bit more preparation than I did today. Cause I was just chilling, just laying down, just watching YouTube, and I saw a ping, you know, race timer. I'm like, oh no, like, run and get on the computer real quick. But I mean, this game doesn't need too much warm up, so.
Yeah, it's especially when you've like been playing it recently. It kind of gets to a point where it's like, all right, let's start the run up. Let's see what we get. Let's start the slots.
Yeah, it's about the best time I've had since I stopped playing.
Yeah, that's a race PB for you for sure. Tournament race
Is
PB.
it? Even
Tournament
okay,
race
but,
PB.
yeah, I don't know about SRL because I think I might have had these.
Yeah. Back in the day, me and halqery used to race on SRL. Anyways, unless you guys have anything else to say, I think we're good to wrap up.
I'm interested in watching back the match just to see, because like I don't know, I expected him to get like a 42 or something.
He probably would have if he didn't have bad rank S luck. He had pretty bad rank S.
Did you not get the 600 very fast?
No.
No,
on,
you
dude.
will see. If you see the race, you will see.
Okay,
Yeah.
GG's. That was really fun.
You will be or laughing or feeling the frustration I feel rank A.
I'm sure I'll feel it. I don't know if it'll be more frustrating than the acupressure Dodrio.
That was pretty fun.
That was depressing. I'm
Oh,
like,
stop pressing
finally,
the
a
button.
bird dropped. I'm like, finally, a bird dropped. This is great. And then I looked at the moveset. I'm like, I can't even use this.
Never mind. Okay.
All right, back to the hunt. Let's go.
Yeah. Yep. All right, but thanks again, Speedgaming, for hosting. We'll probably see you guys next with Diego, Lazo, and Rob the Gamer. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.